Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This, of course, is another anime reaction video. Today, we're getting into some more Gintama, episodes 84 and 85, and based on my episode guide that I have, these two episodes go together, so it's going to be really interesting to see what exactly that means, and what kind of little overarching story we're going to have for this episode. I'm really excited to see what happens next, because I just imagine it's going to be more great Gintama comedy, and then potentially some really life-changing life advice that I'll carry with the rest of my life or forever or something like that. I genuinely don't know. Honestly, it's always impossible to tell what kind of story you're going to get at when you boot up an episode of Gintama, so without further ado, we're just going to get straight into the episode. As always, make sure to hit that button, that like button, excuse me, if you enjoy these videos, you want to see more, and also subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single upload in the future. With that all being said, let's get straight into the episode. As always, unless you're new to the channel, in the description below you'll find links to the full-length uncut reaction. You can go there, watch reaction, come back to YouTube for the discussion. Anyway, this was a really cool episode because we're doing another two-part story type thing, which I'm really excited to see where this goes in the future, because even though this was a full episode, except for the first 5 minutes where we were just doing pretty much nothing, as Kentucky was saying, for 5 minutes straight, this is a really interesting sort of story we're going with, because it feels, in part, similar to Hasegawa, who kind of has this weird sort of job thing where he can never hold down a job, and because he never does his job properly type thing. And from what I remember, the reason he always loses his job is because he's always, like, going against that his employer's rules or whatever for the sake of other people, which is a really admirable trait about Hasegawa. That's why I love Hasegawa so much, even though he gets this life just kicks the shit out of him at every turn. But this guy's kind of similar in that he's pretty incompetent, and he's got, you know, the sunglasses, potentially a really strained relationship with his wife because he doesn't really talk to her very often. And I know this might be a really out there prediction, but one of the things that I want to predict about the next episode is that the thief that he's chasing after, Fox, is actually his wife. I don't really have any evidence to back that up, other than it would be like, because it's mentioned when he's at the hard liquor place that that's not something that he ever complained about to his wife. He only did it with the old guy who runs the liquor spot. So they have an unhealthy relationship because he's refusing to basically ever talk about anything with his wife, which is really not how you have healthy relationships. It's just to hold things off and never let your mask sort of fall away. He keeps up his hard-boiled persona in front of his wife no matter what. So really, you could say that the wife doesn't even know who the real him is. So it could be a case of that she's like disillusioned, and her way of trying to get him to open up to her is to do this whole chase, because that's the only way she can get her husband to pay attention to her. And so, again, probably way out there, but that would be an interesting thing. And then he starts going through a change with the whole idea about what it means to be a hard-boiled detective, or whatever you want to call it. But other than that, I'm really excited to get to the next episode just to see what it truly is, even if I'm wrong. I still want to see what happens. But real quick, I want to go look up something because I need to know his name. I know the voice. Joseph Joestar's in part 3. His voice in part 3 of and part 4 of JoJo's as well. But yeah. Unsho Ishizuka unfortunately passed away in 2018. It was really a shame to see him go, because he was a great voice actor. All I really know him from particularly is Joseph Joestar, Old Man Joseph Joestar, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3 and 4, obviously, but also, actually, I'm not a huge Tekken fan, but I decided, I forget when, sometime in 2019, I think, to buy Tekken 7. I haven't played it very much, just because I'm not very good at fighting games, especially online. I get my ass kicked no matter what. But I played through the entire story, and Heihachi, one of the main characters, unfortunately, he was in the game, and it was nice to hear his voice in the game, but of course he's passed away. But yeah, I don't think... Oh, he was Mr. Satan in Dragon Ball? Nice. Oh wait, no. It looks like only in Dragon Ball Kai and Dragon Ball Super? Who was You know what? I don't even care. I have not. Oh, he's a Hohenheim in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. All right. Now I need to watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood subbed because I've only watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood dubbed. Who else has he played? Yeah, no one. No, I know. Wait, hold on a second. The narrator and fucking Professor Oak in pretty much every version of the Pokemon anime. Good God. Oh, that. Oh, and just remembering that he's gone now. Sucks. What a legend. All right. Yeah. Other than that, I have no idea what the identity of Fox would be, and I'm sure. Well, I'm confident that if I just watch, then it'll come to fruition or whatever. It'll be explained to me. But I'm definitely confident that whoever it was that attacked and killed people, that's not the original Fox. There's no way, because basically what they've been setting up so far is that that's not true, and that's kind of like, I like that kind of dynamic that's happening between Mr. Hardboiled and Fox, and in that, because of their continued rivalry and their long cat and mouse game, which this also sort of supports my Fox's dude's wife. They've developed a really strong bond where the detective knows for a fact that the killings was not the Fox they knew, so it's clearly got to be someone different or something happened. So there's a bond there, and because of how confident Fox is in presumably the detective, or just in their skills, who knows, I don't know yet, but I'm gonna go with that it's something to do with the detective. It just kind of shows how they kind of have like this weird sort of relationship, which is really interesting. So I'm really excited to get to the next episode, so I'm gonna go do that now. These last episodes are really interesting. I really enjoyed them, and I was fully expecting more family things, you know? I mean, technically they were kind of going with a family thing, with a mysterious benefactor type thing, but I was expecting to have some sort of resolution on the plotline with his wife, but I guess not. But I guess, because this works too. This works really too, and I think it's really interesting to introduce this group, the Cube, I think they were called, something like that, the 9 Foxes. With them being, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but having them be like an organization that existed even before like the Amanto invasion, from what I collected from all of that, because they mentioned a betrayal over 30 years ago, and at this point in the series, I assume in the timeline the Amanto invasion was still only like 20 years ago, so that would line up. But I was not expecting that it was going to be the old man, because we hadn't heard the voice of the Fox before, and I kind of find it interesting that it's kind of like that idea of like, I used to be a bad guy, but I want to make up for it, so he's just helping him from the shadows while also giving him a purpose to go forward in life, and that being like a huge criminal that he wants to, you know, find and then eventually capture, his biggest prey. And I think that's he kind of just like knew that, because you know what it kind of reminds me of? I brought it up earlier, but the Gray Fox comparison from Metal Gear Solid 1 that's kind of similar to what it was with Naomi Hunter. Spoilers for like decades old video game, but one of the twists was that cyborg ninja, or Gray Fox, who was who helped to raise a young girl named Naomi Hunter, I believe. He was the one who killed her parents, so it's kind of parallels, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what happened here, where I believe, or at least, unless I'm getting it wrong and I'm misinterpreting it, his group was involved in the killing and burning down of I forget his name, but Detective Man, of his household and his family. But he, for whatever reason, the Fox, the main guy, decided to not kill the child and give him the chest with the golden in. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I apologize if I'm misinterpreting that. And I find it interesting that they leave it ambiguous, where it's like, even though the fact that he's maybe still alive, shows just how good he is, even though he's such an old man. And I think that might be as a way to be like, he'll always still be a part of me, and he'll always still have someone there for him, because even though he couldn't confide in his wife, the hard-boiled detective would always confide and talk about his feelings and his problems with the old man, which is a very nice thing. It's a, again, strong theme in all of Gintama, his family. I'm pretty sure Vin Diesel would love this show, but yeah, overall just another great episode. I'm really excited to see where the next episode or two is gonna go with that ending of fucking Sogo having trouble sleeping because he's too busy imagining himself killing Hijikata over 4,000 times. And then there's apparently a guest. Oh boy. I'm really scared to see who this guest is, because one of the last times there was a guest with the Shinsengumi, it was a corrupt Amanto politician that Sogo ended up like stringing up on a cross and burning. I don't know if he actually killed him, but burning him on a cross. So I can't wait to see who this person is, and it's got to clearly be something related to Sogo or Hijikata, I would assume, because they put so much emphasis on Sogo in the end there before actually bringing up that they have a guest. So maybe yeah, I don't know who. Somehow the Yorozuya squad's gonna get involved. All I can think is it's gotta be like a family member or something, or like maybe a family member of Hijikata, and it's like, more people in Hijikata's family that I have to kill. Or something like that. And you know what it could be? It could also be like Sogo dealing with insomnia because he clearly didn't get very much sleep, which would be an interesting plotline. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about this episode. Thank you once again for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single upload in the future. That all being said, thank you once again for watching. Peace.